Hello and welcome, this is Noah with Nomad Gaming, and thank you for joining us for another video about the Marvel Champions LCG. Marvel Champions is a living card game produced and distributed by Fantasy Flight Games, and if you're looking for a place to stay up to date with news, content, strategy, deck building, and of course gameplay, hit that subscribe button to stay tuned to the channel. Today we're bringing you a hot new build of Black Panther featuring the protection aspect that we call Go Green BP. So without further ado, let's jump into the gameplay. As you can see, we've preloaded our Black Panther deck. We are going to select a villain. We will be playing Claw today as advertised. Let's play with the Power Drain set in Standard to test out our deck. Let's make this a little bit more visually appealing for those who are watching with us on YouTube. And there we go. We're going to hunt out our defense network real quick, look at all cards. Sort A to Z. We're going to put this on the table because we can't discard it. We're going to grab our defense network here. We're going to close and shuffle that. When we flip to side 1B, we have to discard cards from the encounter deck until we discard a minion card. So we're going to make this discard pile visible for us to see what's going in. First card is a weapons runner. We'll shuffle in our obligation now and take a look at our starting hand. We're going to take our mulligan and then activate our setup ability as the last piece of the setup step. We have 2 Vibranium, which is fantastic. We have a Get Behind Me, which we will discard. We have an Ancestral Knowledge, which we will probably discard. Yep, and we're going to discard it. And we'll draw 2, and then we will look at all of our cards, and we will get out Tactical Genius. Because we're playing against Claw, I like to start with a Tactical Genius available. We have an interesting option here. Usually I try to go with the rest of our setup first and then get around to the suit later. But we have 3 of our suit pieces in hand, and we have 2 double resources. We could put all 3 pieces into play right now, and then we have 4 more Wakanda Forevers coming through the deck that are going to be active. That's going to be the plan that we're going to follow today. So let's flip. We're going to play Vibranium Suit, Energy Daggers, and Tactical Genius. To do that, we're going to discard a Vibranium for 2, and we're going to discard Energy Barriers and Wakanda Forever. That's going to set us up for big future turns, but right now we are in a little bit of a tight spot. We are going to start off by thwarting for 2 on Defense Network, and then we will pass the turn. We've not drawn a bad hand here. This is going to let us get our defense set up. We have the opportunity to cancel a Treachery if we need to, and we do have a Wakanda Forever to activate those 3 suit pieces that we've gotten into play. We are going to add 1 to the threat, activate the villain for us. He's going to attack. He attacks with 2 boost cards because of his ability here. It's a forced interrupt. When he attacks, give him an additional boost card. So he's attacking for 0 plus 2 boost. 1, 2. He gets 1 boost icon out of that pair. So he attacks us for 1. We'll take the 1 damage, and we will retaliate for 1. We also have a weapons runner here that activates for us, so we'll take 1 damage and we will retaliate for 1, and then we will take an encounter card playing on regular or normal difficulty. We've got an assault, which is going to attack us again with Claw, so again 2 boost cards, and we will not defend again. We still have plenty of health left out of our 11. He's attacking for a base 0. And so we will get to retaliate, and we will take, looks like 2 damage and lose 2 armor guards out of the pile that we won't have to deal with soon. So we have 4 damage here. Taking a little bit of damage isn't a bad thing when we've got Vibranium Suit here. We've also got Momentum Shift in the deck, which is going to be good for us. And as we get set up, we're going to be able to do much better. So we'll pass the turn back to us from the villain phase. And now hero phase, turn 2. We've got Black Panther ready to go. I'm going to take this hit from Weapon Runner again, so we're not going to worry about him. I do want to get the threat taken care of, but we have the option here to do that with Tactical Genius off of the defense network. We can, and probably should have Desperate Defense, but I think what we want to do is probably, we'll Wakanda Forever on the let's see, like this, and we'll play the defensive stance. I think this is a good setup. Let's do that. We'll play Wakanda Forever by discarding Get Behind Me. We are going to activate, so we are going to do, let's do daggers first. Deal 1 damage to the villain and each enemy engaged with you. 1/1. That destroys the weapon runner. Then we're going to take 1 threat off of a scheme. That kills the defense network. And then finally, we're going to activate Vibranium Suit. We get to move 2 damage from us to the villain. We are then going to play Defensive Stance, which will give us an option to protect ourselves if we need to. If something goes awry in just a moment, then we will attack the villain for 2, and we will pass the phase over to villain phase. We have another Desperate Defense in hand. We could play that real quick. That'll allow us to ready off of a defend, which we'll probably do that. And let's see, we're activating. Alright, so threat goes up by 1. We're going to activate the villain for us. He will attack. We are in hero form. Again, 2 boost cards. We will defend though because we've got Desperate Defense. And we're going to, well, we're not going to play the Desperate Defense. I think we're going to take the damage and maybe discard the Defensive Stance. That's what we're going to do. Alright, let's see what we get. We get 1 and a boost icon, so that's 1 damage, and we retaliate for 1. He comes out and gets to activate 2, so he attacks us for 1 and takes a damage. We take an encounter card, and the encounter card is discard the top 7 cards of the encounter deck. If Electro is if Electro is discarded this way, put him into play engaged with you. If Electro was not discarded this way, this card gains Surge. So, we're going to go 7 cards deep and find Electro. 1. Oh, there he is. We still got to do 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No Surge, but Electro is now on the table. That's going to end the villain phase, and it brings us back to turn 3 for us in hero phase, and choices. We're probably going to end up Desperate Defense here. It's going to let us draw. It'd be great if we could have drawn an Unflappable at this point. We'll keep the defensive stance in place so we can pay for something with that. We can do the Brother Voodoo trick. Let's do that. Let's go Brother Voodoo for Desperate Defense, Endurance, Energy Barrier. He lets us look at the top 5 cards of our deck for an event card and add it to our hand and then shuffle our deck. So let's look at top 5. And let's see if we have an event. We have a Wakanda Forever, which is why we play Brother Voodoo. And we also have a Momentum Shift, which would let us heal 2 and shift 2 to an enemy. But the Wakanda Forever is going to do the same thing and more, so we're going to keep the Wakanda Forever. We're going to close that and shuffle the deck. Deck has been shuffled. Now we can Wakanda Forever using our Desperate Defense to pay for it. And that is going to allow us to deal 1 damage to each enemy. We are going to clear 1 threat from the scheme. And then we are going to heal 2 damage and then place 2 damage on an enemy. We will place that damage on Electro. And we will attack with Brother Voodoo onto Electro. And we will pass our turn. Interesting. Alright. so we have some choices to make here. This attack, when he attacks, you discard a card and you take 1 indirect damage from each boost icon discarded this way. So we'll see what shakes out of that, but we will add a threat, take our activation from the villain, 2 boost cards because he attacks, and we got to keep an eye on our villain deck here because we burn through it really fast with this combination. We are not going to defend, so we will take 2 plus 2 plus 3. Whoa, that's 5 damage. Actually, let's prevent 3 of that damage by discarding defensive stance, and we will retaliate for 1. And Electro will attack us for 2. We will take that. Undefended. And he says we discard the top card of the encounter deck and deal indirect damage for 2. So we're going to go... Indirect damage can be placed on Brother Voodoo though. So we're going to take 2 damage to Brother Voodoo. He's now in the discard pile. We will take 2 damage to us from the attack. We will retaliate for 1, and then we will pass the turn. Hero phase begins. We are going to play an Avengers Mansion for 1, 2, 3, 4. We will draw a card with the Avengers Mansion. We are going to play Momentum Shift. We'll take 2 off of us, and we'll deal 2 to Electro. Electro's gone. And then we will thwart for 2. And oh, we forgot to discard those guys for the momentum shift. Alright, passing over to villain phase. There we go, unflappable. Things are going to start to heat up for us. Alright, add a threat. Villain activates for us with 2 boost cards. We will not defend. 3, 4. Retaliate 1. Get an encounter card. Encounter card is Advance. The villain's going to scheme. He schemes for 2 plus nothing. And it becomes our turn. Let's draw a card first. And let's see. Choices, choices, choices. Well, I'm going to play Unflappable. That's guaranteed. The rest of the options that we have here aren't very good. Let's see, we could play, let's play Shuri for strength, which will let us search our deck for an upgrade and add it to our hand. So let's look at all cards. Sort, we need an upgrade. It's something, we're just going to discard it, so I'm going to take this Unflappable that we don't want to draw anyway. Close and shuffle. I'm going to play Momentum Shift by discarding Iron Fist and the Unflappable. I will clear 2 health. I will deal 2 damage. Actually, wait. Before we do that, we're going to do... Shuri's going to take a damage and attack. That advances the villain. And when this guy comes out, we have to find the Immortal Claw, which is in our discard pile. Because it was just a boost card. That comes out with 3 threat on it per player. And then we will Momentum Shift. And clear 2 damage. And I'd put 2 damage over there. Did I do that double? No. did do that double. I'm at 6 health. Alright. And pass the turn. Now we can try to draw an extra card off of Unflappable. We still get to retaliate. We've got to manage some threat, but that's doable. So things aren't bad. Villain phase is on. Let's increase our threat by 1. Activate the villain against us. We will defend. We defend for 2 against 3. We do take a damage. We retaliate for 1. We cannot Unflappable. That is disappointing. And take an encounter card. The encounter card is take 2 damage, heal 2 from Claw. We are going to need to take a turn in our other modes. So we need to go into like hardcore threat removal here. Oh, there's an extra acceleration from Immortal Claw. Alright, let's check out what happens now on our turn. Alright, hero phase. Let's draw another card. There's the Golden City. That's going to help out. Alright, so choices. We've got to flip. Golden City could let us draw 3 more cards. Do we Wakanda Forever before we flip? I think we do. If we do that, we're not going to be able to Fury, though. I think that's fine. Alright, so we're going to play Wakanda Forever by discarding Fury, because we're not going to be able to play him. And that's going to let us deal 1 damage to each enemy, heal 1 and deal 1, and then remove 2 threat from a scheme. We will remove it from Underground Distribution. We'll thwart for 1 with Shuri off of Underground Distribution. We're going to play Golden City by discarding Panther Claws and Energy Barrier. We're going to flip. We're going to draw with Golden City. That's probably the worst thing we could have drawn. We can't do anything else. We're just going to let it go. Pass turn. And get schemed upon for 2 + 2. That's going to put us over. Advance the scheme. Unanchor. Move down here. Make things get reasonably large again. Although way shifted to the right. And no, we're going to move it back. There we go. This says discard cards until we find a minion. That means we can discard. It's not a minion, so we stop. We flip. And in a second, we're going to get an acceleration icon. And let's see. 8 threat is what we can take there. We get an encounter card and an acceleration icon for it. Markers, add acceleration. And we get a big mean card. Alright, that's fine. Alright, pass the turn back. And let's see if we can wrap this up here. We're going to draw 2 off of Golden City. That's going to get us an encounter card. We're going to draw... Do I only draw 1? No, I drew 2. And then I'm going to draw one from Avengers Mansion. Now we have to make some choices. Let's see. I'm going to heal for 4. I'm going to flip. I'm going to momentum shift with the power of leadership. Heal 2. Actually, let's Shuri into that tough first. Heal 2. Deal 2. And then we're gonna Mockingbird for 1, 2, 3. We'll stun. And thwart for 1. And then we're gonna play Wakanda Forever. And we will do, let's do Suit first, Dagger second, and Tactical Genius third. And then we will Wakanda Forever again. And we will Suit first, Tactical Genius second, and Daggers third. And end our turn. Villain phase begins. We're taking 2 threat onto the scheme. He is stunned, so he does not attack. We take 2 encounter cards here. When revealed, we can exhaust everybody we control. That's fine. When revealed, place 1 additional threat per person here. So we got 4 threat and an extra encounter card coming next turn. And hero phase it is. Let's draw a card. We got the double Wakanda Forever. Let's go with Ancestral Knowledge for 1. We're going to put 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 back into the deck. It says put them, shuffle them in. So we're shuffling. And that's in the discard. And we're going to Wakanda Forever. We'll go Suit first, Dagger second, Tactical Genius third. Did I discard? I didn't discard. Then we will Wakanda Forever again. We'll go Suit first, Tactical or Dagger second, and Tactical Genius third. And pass the turn. And threat goes up by 2. Villain activates. He gets 2 boost cards. We will, I think we're going to defend to just try to activate Unflappable, which we don't do. We're going to take 7. That's 6 damage. We'll retaliate for 1. We'll get 2 encounter cards because of illegal arms trade. We got Electro again and Shadow of the Past, which is going to create a new fun situation for us. And I think we're going to wrap it up though on the next turn. So let's shuffle. I think we need 7 more damage. I think we've got it. Alright. He can't take damage from BP upgrades, but we're not going to kill him, so it's fine. Hero phase starts. draw a card off of the mansion. Momentum shift for 2. And heal 2. And deal 2. And Mockingbird for 1. And Energy Barrier for 2. I'm going to discard this Energy Barrier to draw more cards. We'll pass the turn. We advance the threat by 2. We'll get attacked by the villain. He's attacking for 1. He's got 2 boost cards. I am not going to defend it. He attacks for 1. We will deflect. Oh, I forgot to put my counters on here. So I take no damage, which means I don't exhaust. We'll get attacked by Electro. Electro attacks for 2, which we will not defend, and he discards 1 boost icon, which we will take as a damage. We retaliated 1 against him. We retaliate 1 against him. We will deflect the 1 damage from Electro's indirect to claw, and then we will take 2. We will deflect 1 of those, 2 claw, and that is the end of the game. We've taken 1 damage. We've got 5 health. We have 6 health remaining. Claw is defeated, and the game is over. Alright, folks. I think it's a good deck. I think the only thing that is missing from the deck that I would like to have is the electrostatic armor. I didn't have it available to put into the digital game today. It's in the New Hulk expansion. But, you know, I think that we can talk about going back to adding that to this deck. It'll give us double retaliate, which allows us to do even more damage when we're getting attacked. You rely heavily on getting attacked, but Get Behind Me is like an emergency safeguard card. It's probably a lot better in Heroic or Expert, but I enjoy it. I think it's a good card. I think we should play it. Brother Voodoo's awesome with Black Panther because he gets you to find your Wakanda Forever, which gets you more activations. We did start out really strong this game with 3 upgrades in our opening hand that we could play all of them. That was cool, and that worked out really well for us. But as you can see, I mean, Black Panther's still a high value card, or high value hero in the set. He plays great solo. I really enjoy playing in green with protection, and I hope that you guys will also. If you will, give us a like, a subscribe, share our videos and notifications. Feel free to share them on social media, put them out there, and let folks know what the content is that we have. We really appreciate the support we've been getting from everybody on the channel. And until next time, let's go game.